Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your weekly reading for May 19th to the 25th. This is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right into it. Aquarius, welcome to one of the biggest weeks of the year. Look, this is it. We're here. All right. Saturn moving into Aries, the third of the four outer planets, changing signs this year. You know this is history making because there's so much more to Saturn moving into Aries, as I've explained in past few readings. And yeah, I'm going to do a separate video of the fact that Saturn is now with Neptune, making it just bonkers. But this is a landmark moment, okay? And we're talking epic proportions. Remember, nobody on Earth has experienced what we're about to go through. Look what's happening on the same day. We have one of the strongest conjunctions ever. Now, your life is changing and you see it. And remember, you've been on that wave, all right? And there's just, and maybe you're manifesting this big change too. Here's the thing. Remember, everything kind of started mid-March, right? And I'll walk you through it. But remember, this is the year of the Great Awakening. This is the year of the Great Ascension. There's a lot to come. And I just want to remind you, from your birthday season in January till about April, it was like quicksand energy, right? And I told you May is going to be one of the most auspicious months of the year, and you really start feeling it now. Look at all that. All right. So I'm really excited for you. And I'll walk you through some of the things that's been happening that's brought you to this point and what you can expect, of course. But I do want to welcome you to the most stimulating, exciting, insanely optimistic, fruit-bearing, least boring week of May. Remember, the blue asterisks are always the best aspects of the week. Look, they're all great. They're rare. They're sextiles and trines. This is a shift, okay? And you're going to feel it. You're probably still feeling that Uranus Kazemi from over the weekend. But what happened at home? What happened at home? I can tell you right now, like as an Aquarius, if you're new to my channel, I'm an Aquarius. And I think I did like an Instagram post or something like that. But yeah, I had work. They had to do work inside my home for a week out of nowhere. I was like, what is going on here? They had to do all this with the pipes. And anyway, so that's what I'm talking about, like surprises and the home area. But remember, Jupiter's with the nodes and Chiron. You're doing some healing. You're doing some personal, spiritual healing for your transformation. You're going through one of the biggest out of all the signs. You know that with Pluto in your sign, okay? And I do want to congratulate you because remember what I said, your May forecast, your May 2025 forecast, that we only have two challenging aspects this entire month, those two squares. Well, we're past them now, all right? So, from this point forward, it only gets better. And this is one of the best, again, this is one of the best weeks of the month because what's happening the Monday after? That new moon in Gemini. Yeah? Remember, I told you in your annual forecast, even in your May forecast, that's one of the best new moons of 2025. All right? So I'll walk you through it. Tuesday, May 20th. Look at what's happening. Look at what's happening. Sun sextile Saturn. Yeah, that's a big deal. And you see the Sun sextile Neptune as well. That's, amplifies the energy bit. Let's stick with Sun sextile Saturn. This is happening at 29 degrees. That's what makes it a big deal. That's a critical degree, the anaretic degree, right? What comes after 29 in astrology? 0. Remember, you've been moving into this brand new era. And so this is kind of like this peak, this culmination to what you've been working hard on for the past few years. Yeah? And remember, this Saturn is in Pisces and it has been here for a few years. In your second house, what is the second house? It's your material world. It's your possessions. It's money. It's finances. It's income. It's salary. It's all of that. Okay? It's also self-worth and self-value, self-confidence. Pluto and Aquarius has been helping that. Knowing your worth. That's what I've been telling you. We're a team here. We do this together. All right? So, especially, by the way, if you are Aquarius rising, yeah, you would have felt that the most, but every Aquarius feels this. All the conversations, all the planets are having conversations, and this is a big deal, a huge deal, all right? So the sun, right? This is basically your graduation, the 29 degree point. So the sun right now, this life force, right? The sun, optimism, the sun, energy, right? The sun is everything. with Saturn. So remember what I've been saying the past few weeks, past few months, past years? You work with Saturn, who is karma, whose life lessons, you will be rewarded. And here you go. Here's your reward. Here's your diploma. So you even got through the Saturn North Node conjunction. That was back in April. You've been going through it. And now Saturn, your ruler, by the way, Aquarius, that's why this week is a deal for you. And actually, this entire year is a big deal for you. I'll break it down, but you got Saturn. I'm sorry. You got Saturn and Uranus, your modern ruler, right? But we'll talk about that. You see Uranus is going to be active too. So you've got Saturn here in a sextile with the sun. And so sextiles are windows of opportunity. They help you thrive. They help you grow. They help you prosper. And what did I say? 29 degrees before Saturn moves into Aries at 0 degrees. So this is going to be big. This is going to be big. And I'll tell you what Saturn in Aries means for you. And I already have, but just remember one thing that I said. Saturn at this point is making things easy for you. Okay? And I'll explain that later. And Saturn is known to be hard. He tests you. He's the authority. He gives you reality checks. So you have structure and discipline and longevity and what you've committed your time and energy into so you can grow, all right? And now he's working with the sun, setting you up, building that bridge, okay? So this is absolutely amazing, all right? And remember, this is a window of opportunity as well. So you always want to take that inspired action, but Sun sextile Saturn in general rewards achievements, promotions, recognition, success for your effort. All right. Remember, Saturn, like I said, is the authority. So yeah, around this time, authorities could be opening up doors for you, making things happen for you. All right. In everything that I mentioned, your second house, that's really activated. Okay. Second house is also food. I'm going to bring that up. There may be something here with food, but it really is. You have had so much stuff happening with even coming after that full moon in Scorpio, some of y'all maybe launched your own business or maybe got a promotion or got a new job or thinking about doing something different with work, becoming a bigger authority. Speaking of authority, that's Saturn. So yes, an authority figure, like I said, could be making things happening for you at this time before Saturn moves into Aries. And this, you only get twice a year. The Sun sextile Saturn, this is the last time this year. So please take that inspired action, all right? And Saturn, will come back in Pisces at the end of the year, this fall, all right? To check in. But it's a whole different story when that happens. We'll still be at that 29 degree point, but you've already done 80% of the work. You've already been tested in this area for the past, 2 years? So when he comes back in this area of your chart, it's more like a check-in, okay? So if you are across, and definitely there's going to be some home stuff here too. Real estate, property matters, significant other, family, children, grandparents, ancestry, the foundations of your life. That is what that's what's happening here. That's what's happening here, okay? So a lot of Aquarians are going to feel it in different ways. You all have different birth charts. You have different rising signs. It makes you different from every other Aquarius in the world, and you're the unique ones anyway. And so there's a lot happening for y'all, and I'm just very excited for you. If you are a cross watcher, by the way, if you do watch for your rising or your moon or for your husband or your lover or your sister or son, whoever it is, your dog, everyone's going to feel this. Mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, and fixed signs. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and you. And I'm throwing in Capricorn and Aries. Will feel it the most if you have planets in your birth chart. If you know your birth chart, if you have planets between 27 to 2 degrees in any of the mutable or fixed signs that I just mentioned, you will feel it. Now, look at what's happening the same day we move into Gemini season, okay? So remember, Sun sextile Saturn, 29 degrees. So the Sun now leaving that 29 degree point to the 0 degree point in Gemini. And so now we're in Gemini season. I have been telling you to please take advantage of when we get to this moment, because now Okay, Gemini season, first of all, it's all about communication. It's all about learning new things, teaching, writing, travel, marketing, advertising, PR, building bridges, launching businesses, opening doors opening up for you, you becoming an authority, okay? In any type of communication, in your role, whatever that is for you, okay? Because keep this in mind, everything that I just said, that is Saturn moving into Aries for you, okay? Now, here's the biggest thing, though, is having that curiosity for the new. That's Gemini season. So for the next 4 weeks, be social. It's all about the mind, right? This Gemini season, mind over matter, communication, power to attract what you know you deserve. And just check out your monthly forecast. I talk a lot more about Gemini season, but the one thing I do want you to remind you is that Jupiter is here. Jupiter is in Gemini, helping expand and grow and bring luck, abundance, fortune, wisdom, optimism, all of that to everything that I just said. And Gemini rules your 5th house. Nobody else's. Aquarius, just yours. What is the 5th house? You know what it is. It's pleasure. It's joy. It's true love. It's romance. It's family. It's children. It's sex. It's procreation. A lot of y'all having babies. Okay? It is a big deal because this is the last full month you'll have Jupiter in this area of your chart. But you see what's happening? Now you got the sun here, and then you've got Mercury moving here. You're going to have a stellium in this area of your chart, all on the brink of the new moon next week. Please take advantage of this. This is a portal for you to use in your 5th house. 5th house is also creativity, creative projects. What are you working on, right? There's something big here. There's something brewing. It's self-expression as well. It's recreation too. And so I want you to pick up the themes there. What did I just say? Procreation, recreation, right? Create. The root is create. What did I say? Creativity, creative projects, create. Okay? Use this, please. I am here for you I really want you to take advantage, okay? Keep your lines of communication open. And listen, Jupiter, at the end of the day, it is faith. Jupiter's faith and belief. And belief it's translated biochemically. This is literally, I tell you, I bring these things up so you vibrate at that high frequency, okay? That, you know how the law of attraction works. We don't have to go through that. But remember, Gemini is the power of the mind. And Gemini is a twin. And I've told you this. When you've got Jupiter and Gemini, the twin, it's very, very often, yeah, you could have twins if you're having babies, or 2 opportunities for what you want, okay? But you've got to work with that high frequency, that law of attraction, all right? Now, the other thing about this, Gemini, that's the power to choose, right? And you already know that. So at this point, you're going to feel this wonderful energy. So I want you to choose self-belief and self-love and gratitude and compassion. So vibrate at that high frequency because everything is energy. And I tell you this all the time. It's not just divination. It's science. It's literally science. Albert Einstein himself said, match the frequency of the reality that you want, and you can't help but get that reality. Okay? And I know I say that quote many times to remind you. And I really have to emphasize it this week for many reasons. But Albert Einstein got what he wanted. His formula works. So use these aspects, please. Thursday, this is a big one. May 22nd. Yeah, now you got the Sun sextile Neptune. Okay, so this is, remember Neptune's already in Aries. Archetype is spiritual warrior, compassionate leader, visionary leader, all for the greater good. This is enormously auspicious with the Sun sextile Saturn. At the same time, the Sun at this full blast, Jupiter expanding, and now Neptune bringing in that heightened creativity, imagination, intuition, compassion, that visionary energy I've been talking about. Now this is going to bring in this high level of spirituality into your life, and you're going to see the difference that it makes. Okay. And that is through, create your creative things that you do, or meditation, or self-belief, right? Mantras, your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. They're sending you messages, but the biggest thing of all, vision boards. I've talked about this. Neptune is vision, visualized, right? Visionary. So Aquarius, what I want you to do this week. I want you to think about 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Does not matter. Visualize it where you deserve to be for all the effort that you've put in. Visualize and feel that moment. I've talked about this. It's neuroscience, right? The neural pathways when you visualize. The past, present, and the future are all happening at the same time. That's why you get to create your reality. Please use this. And it's Neptune, so tap into your inner artist or your inner musician, filmmaker, photographer, playwright, okay? Healer, scientist, metaphysicist, doesn't matter. This is truly visionary, right? Tim Burton, okay? Frank Ocean, all right? Versace, Mikey Madison, who just won the Oscar, who I believe Aquarius rising. So do you see what they create? They have this in their chart. So just remember, you're on a karmic journey, and everything that you do has ripple effects, and you can create something really amazing and beautiful in your life right now. So please use this, because look at what's happening. You got Venus trine Mars on that same day. You got the two cosmic lovebirds in this powerful, harmonious aspect. This is so different, and I told you this, very different. We've had this a few times. This is different. Venus isn't retrograde. Mars isn't in Cancer. Mars isn't retrograde. You will feel this, okay? This is fun, and this is really exciting, all right? This is Riz. As the kids no longer say, but listen, Venus in Aries, Mars in Leo, fiery. You throw in the fact that you got the sun, you got Jupiter in Gemini, you got Pluto in your sign, you got all this fire and air. This is magnetism, okay? Just be social, all right? In any capacity that you want. Because remember, you got Mars in Leo, your opposite sign. Partnerships. Relationships, legal matters, marriage. This is big for you. This is huge. And yes, it can be love. Yes, it can be career. Yes, it can be a creative partner. Yes, it can be a one-on-one. It can be like your, your lawyer, your agent, your relationship with, your sister. It doesn't matter. Just think one-on-one. This is big. Okay. But yeah, it is Venus and Mars. So yeah, this is relationships, it's love, it's romance, it's sex, but it's Venus, it's money. It's also, like I said, creative projects. It's Mars and Leo. At the end of the day, it's passion. Use this. Go on a date. This is perfect for first dates. You are going to feel Venus trine Mars the entire week. That's how strong it is, and even into next week. Yes, it's still going to be at that degree. Anyway, you're going to feel it, but this is the money shot. This day, remember, you're just going to feel all week, and I want you to use it. Go on a date. Even if you're in a relationship, do something fun. All right. Go see, I don't know, the Yeah-Yeahs in concert. Right? Go bowling. Go shopping. It's Venus. Start a new hobby. Start something new, right? If Venus is what your heart desires, if Venus is what brings you pleasure, right? Mars is the action that you take to get it. Take it. Vibrate at the high frequency. And that's the other thing I told you. What did I say? Magnetism, right? This aspect, if you're vibrating at that high frequency, right? Things will just come to you. People will just come to you. Okay, they'll gravitate toward you. The things that you want. So you can attract those kismet moments. You can attract those sliding doors moments. So please don't book a solo trip to Antarctica this week. You want to be around. This is going to be the last Mars and the last Venus aspects that we have for the rest of the month. So again, please use this. Go on a fun day. Do something different. I told you it's Gemini season. Be curious. Be creative. This is all happening in your 5th house of love and creativity and procreation and everything that I said. The fun house, the 5th house. It's fun. It's pleasure and joy. do things that are going to be exciting for you. Okay? Now, go audition for Hamilton. Do something. Do something. You're Aquarians. Y'all are unique. We are, you're the Aquarius is the genius, right? So you'll think it's something great. But here's the reason why I'm harping on this and why this is such a big deal is because the moon will be in Aries. Whoa, right? That adds a whole other layer. You know what the moon in Aries is like. And if you don't, it's just where you're just going to take action. That's moon in Aries, where you just feel that boldness, courageousness, that spirited energy. But that's not all. You got the moon, Neptune, and Ceres all conjuncting in Aries at this time at 1 degree, the Aries degree, right, of initiation. We'll talk about it in the second spread, and I'll tell you what that means for you. But just one last thing for you. This that I just mentioned will be sextiling Pluto in your sign all weekend. I can't even. Don't forget, you got Chiron and Eris. Remember I said they've been conjuncting? I talked about it last week. This is when they perfect, okay? Big. They're in Aries. We're about to talk about what's happening in Aries for you, all right? But anyway, really fierce entrance into this weekend, yeah? And you're going to have one little last lesson too. I'm just looking at what's going on for you. We do have a triple conjunction with the North Node in your second house of salary, money, finances, income, things that do bring you pleasure, relationships, all that's happening with all of this. And the fact that this is the week that the moon conjuncts Venus. What? One of the best lunations ever when you've got the moon conjuncting Venus. We'll talk about in the second spread. I'll tell you when it is. Now, welcome to the least boring weekend of ever. Ever. So May 24th or the 25th, depending on where you live, Saturn moves into Aries. There we go. All right, it's a big deal. It's happening 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you see, it's like right at it's so really depending on where you live, and that's on the 24th. Convert that to wherever. Okay, Eastern Standard Time, New York City time, my time. I will do a separate video on Saturn in Aries with Neptune. So Saturn and Neptune in Aries because it is such a different feel. Yeah. Such a big deal that I can't talk about it in, here. All right. It deserves its own, because we haven't had it in 320 years. Right. So that's what makes this special is that it's not just Saturn moving into Aries, but if you want to just consider Saturn moving into Aries, sure. Think about the late 90s for you. All right. Think about 96, 99. That was the last time. Remember, Saturn has that. It's a 29 and a half year cycle. Okay. So he's going to be here all summer until September, right? With Neptune giving you a preview of what your life is going to be like in February 2026, your birthday season. Okay. This is gonna, and in that video that I'm gonna do, actually, I might do a live stream. So just look at my live streams where I'll tell you a lot more about what's going on for you that I don't have time for here. Just look at my live streams. But when okay, you get me so excited, Aquarius. So what happens from this point until September? Like I said, preview of what your life will be like February 2026, your birthday season, and beyond. Now, when I say that, let me get a little bit more accurate here. It is barely a preview because you've already begun. You are in stage 1 because remember, mid-March, right? This is why I keep bringing this up. So you remember why this is happening. Mid-March is when we had the 6th planet conjunction over the 0 degree Aries point, with a new moon solar eclipse in Aries, with the equinox in Aries, Neptune moving into Aries. Back then we had Venus in Aries. Remember, Venus was flip-flopping between Pisces and Aries, retrograding, all of that, right? Mercury in Aries back then, Eris and Chiron in Aries. So do you see? You've already been doing the work. You've already been doing the work. And Chiron actually moved into Aries in 2017. So a lot of y'all have been doing the work without even realizing it. All right. So this is kind of a big deal. And you're entering this brand new stage in your life, brand new era, this brave new world. Brave, yes, because it's Aries energy. And Aries, like I said, rules your third house. So everything, Gemini, listen, Gemini, your BFF, okay, fellow air sign, is the native ruler of the third house. So what's happening here for you out of all the signs, Aquarius, is amplified 2, 3, 4 times stronger. Okay? Because what did I say? Everything that Sun, Jupiter, even Mercury moving into Aries, right? Gemini. All of that, okay? Gemini already being the native ruler of communication, of learning new things, starting businesses, a lot of family energy, right? Siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors, even having a lot of home stuff, right? Travel. I said travel, short distance travel. So that's where Saturn is moving now into your third house. Okay? And so you are going to have a lot of emphasis here. Big. Okay? You're probably going to be writing a book. You're probably going to be starting a website. You're probably going to be everything that third house is the internet. You know, even social media. There's something here big for you. All right? Aquarius, you know, you rule technology. So it could be even something bigger, right? But it's you being the communicator. It's you being on a bigger platform. It's this Aries energy, this leadership, entrepreneur energy. You've got so much happening. Learning new things, like I said. All right? Being a teacher, becoming a teacher or a mentor or learning something new. It's big. So, but the biggest takeaway of all, Aquarius, and remember, it's just out with the old, in with the new. All right? That's all it is. All right? I've told you that Pluto in your sign has already been breaking things down for you for your new era. All right? And remember, Pluto's only been in your sign. It hasn't even been 6 months. You got time. Pluto's in your sign for 19 years. And so Pluto in Aquarius affects Aquarians. It just depends on your chart where you feel it the most, okay? If you're curious, because you're all Aquarius here. For me, for instance, my sun, you know, I'm in Aquarius, right? It's at 10 degrees. So when Pluto hits that 10-degree mark, I will feel that. That'll be the, 2027, 2029, 2030. I will feel that the most because Pluto will be right on my sun. But my sun is, conjuncting Venus on my midheaven, which makes it a very, so what I'm saying is it's all based down on your chart and your degrees. So it doesn't matter what degree, though, you're feeling it anyway because Pluto's already in that house now. It's already in your sign. All right. So anyway, Pluto is working with Saturn, your ruler. Okay. So in a way that makes it easy for you because you're so used to Saturn. You're like he's your ruler. And Saturn, who is karma and life lessons and discipline, leaving Pisces, moving into Aries, building this new structure, new system, a new direction in your life. You are going to see that happen. Because Saturn in Pisces is so different from Saturn in Aries, okay? Saturn in Pisces, what we've been going through, it's a little nebulous. It's a little, right? Pisces is very, right, but the things like that, right? So anyway, Saturn in Aries is the beginning, and it's real. It's like, So anyway, this is once in a lifetime. That's the big takeaway here, especially with Saturn conjuncting Neptune in Aries. And yes, I said conjuncting. How crazy is that? All summer. They're outer planets. They'll be together within 1-2 degrees of conjuncting all summer from this point forward. And that's powerful. Conjunctions are, they're merging their energies together. And remember, I said the perfection, that happens in February 2026. That's when they meet at that degree, at 0 degrees. The creation, it's the reset in your birthday season. But I really wish I could tell you, I'll do in the live stream. I will show you what's happening during that time and how when I say your life is going to change, When I saw February 2026, when I saw all those planets in your sign, when that happens, Aquarius, buckle up. But remember, you create your reality. All right. So this is the time. At this point, you're going to start inspiring people. You're going to start empowering people. You're going to be contributing to the collective, because Pluto in Aquarius is all about the collective. And when I say that, it doesn't matter if you're a writer. It doesn't matter if you're a CEO or a chef or an artist or a business owner. Yeah. Or a grandmother or a mother or a son or a banana taster. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you matter, because that's what Saturn in Aries is. Saturn in Aries is all about mastery of self. All right. And when you throw everything together, it's what you do to contribute to the collective, to your community, to society, to your family, to whatever. But just know you're entering this new era. Okay. And don't forget what I said in your monthly forecast. The biggest takeaway of all: wax on, wax off. That is Saturn in Aries, okay? Because Saturn in Aries requires patience. So, Mr. Miyagi, all right? The two most powerful warriors are patience and time. Who said that? Aquarius. I've brought him up before. Yeah? I brought him up. Leave in the comments. No Googling, no cheating. All right, you're gonna love this one. Anyway, you're just gonna feel this profound shift. It doesn't matter if you're Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. It doesn't matter. You're gonna feel it. All right, and feel free to go back to your May forecast or even your March forecast to get a reminder, because I talk a lot about that, like what's gonna happen for you. Anyway, just remember, practice patience, because Saturn, your traditional ruler, Chronos, time, the last of the traditional planets, is now entering the first of the zodiac. It's a big deal. Aries, nothing would exist without Aries. Okay, astrology wouldn't exist without Aries. It's the I am. It's consciousness. It's the beginning. So, congratulations, because you just went through a 30-year cycle. Like I said, late 90s, right? Saturn is the world card in Major Arcana, okay? In Tarot. So it is. So be proud of yourself, all right? He's traveling with Neptune, the Hanged Man, who's connected to the world card. Yeah. And again, it's been 320 years since they've been doing this, right? And remember, it's only happened, this Saturn and Neptune in Aries, like what's happening here, it's only happened 7 times in modern human history. So nobody's experienced this week what we're about to, unless you're a vampire, right? Unless you're, Eric or Pam from True Blood. Did they live? I don't even remember the show. Anyway, you throw in the fact, here's what makes it different. And this is why this is going to have the biggest impact on you. And I know a lot of y'all take notes. So please write this down, because this is going to blow your mind. Saturn, remember, is sextiling Uranus, right? Your other ruler. And remember, this is harmonious. It's a sextile. And then Saturn is also going to trine Pluto. That's in your sign. So do you see when I say Aquarians are really going to feel this? You're going to feel it, because Uranus is moving into Gemini. That's happening in 2 months. That's the first time it's happened in 84 years. Gemini, again, your BFF, fellow air sign there, right? And Pluto in your sign for the first time in 250 years. I mean, are you joking me? Right? I told you Saturn's going to make things easy for you now. He's still hard. He's still going to test you. Of course he's going to test you. That's what Saturn does. And there's going to be times he's going to put on his aviators. But here, this is a great entrance. He's saying welcome. He's rolling out the, I wouldn't say gold, like red. He's rolling out the carpet for you. Okay. The pink carpet. It's close to red. But anyway, what's happening here is you're just going to see a big difference. You're going to feel a big difference. You're going to see a lot more clearly in terms of what gives you purpose and drive, what makes your life meaningful enough to do the work that Saturn requires. And you're going to do it. Why? Because Saturn is moving into Aries. Okay? Aries is fuel. Aries is that energy. Aries is that I am. Aries is stepping up to the plate without anyone even saying anything. This is big. All right. Saturn in Aries, by the way, it is a contradiction. And and that's why I want to do this separate video, because Saturn is slow and Saturn is old and cold and heavy and he's patient, right? Because he's time. Aries is fast and young and fearless and impatient. And he doesn't even wear a watch. He ain't got no phone. He ain't got no iPhone to look. You got that? Okay. So interesting energies. You got young and old, and they're working together. But Saturn and Neptune, again, Neptune's dreams, right? So Saturn turning your dreams into reality. But the one thing that I really want you to pay attention to, because this is in your third house, people are going to be listening to you. So the lower expression, remember, especially for a strong, potent, powerful conjunction, like what's happening right now for all summer long, can be illusion, delusion, escapism, self-sabotage. So please don't. That's why I always say vibrate at that high frequency. And you know what? Just be the change you want to see in the world. Who said that, Aquarius? Who said that? Let me know in the comments. I brought him up before too. Okay? He had Neptune in Aries. All right. So anyway, wax on, wax off. You're going to be fine. You'll be rewarded. Saturn rewards. You're going to learn. You're going to grow. Go with the flow. Flow with the go. Because at this point, what did I say? Out with the old, in with the new. The past at this point is going to be the past. Call the past for a reason. Everything is cyclical, like I said. Okay. You learn your lessons. You pass. You move on. Next, right? That's this. And Saturn in Aries, yeah. You're going to be leaving old structures, old patterns, ways of thinking, systems, all behind for this amazing, absolutely amazing new era that's awaiting you. And yes, Albert Einstein, Saturn in Aries. He was born in Saturn in Aries. Anyway, everyone's going to feel this. Everyone's going to feel, obviously, Saturn moving into Aries. If you know your birth chart, 0 to 3 degrees, if you have any planets there, right? And any of the cardinal signs, right? Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, you're really going to feel this, okay? You're really going to feel this throughout this summer, all right? So, now the next thing there's going to be some more home stuff for you, by the way. We'll talk about the second spread. There's something happening. Here's the thing. That same day, you got the Sun trine Pluto. Whoa. Okay, so Aquarius, I can't even, you see my enthusiasm, right? This is profound. When you've got the Sun trine Pluto, you feel it. It's like visceral. It's the supercharged power. It's unstoppable energy. I'm on top of the world. I got the world in my hand energy. That's the Sun trine Pluto. You got the Sun, this life force, right? Pluto, power, empowerment, transformation in your sign. The sign of the future, with the Sun in Gemini in your 5th house of joy, pleasure, family, true love, children, everything I mentioned earlier, right? Everything, that creativity, a creative project. So this is when you have power that you didn't even believe you had. All right. So this is when remember Pluto's transformation, something's transforming, or it's you transforming your life, because in this powerful, empowering way, because this gives you that self-confidence, that self-belief, right? And you've already worked with it with Saturn and Pisces in your 2nd house of self-worth and self-value. So now you're ready, okay? You've already done that shadow work. We're past that full moon in Scorpio from last week. You've done it. You're like, bring it on at this point, okay? And you know doors are opening for you. Why? Because you've got the keys at this point, and you're unlocking them. Any doors closing on you, this is when you just kick them open. You're like, no, because this is the power of attraction. This is life force energy. This is let it be known. I've got the magic wand. I've got the keys. This is influential, leaving an impression, a footprint. You're going to feel this. You're going to feel this, okay? In a really big way. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, okay? And I'm throwing in Leo and Scorpio are going to feel this the most. Obviously, you're going to, listen, you got Pluto in your sign. You're clearly going to feel this, right? Now, if you have planets between 0 to 6 degrees in your birth chart, in any fixed sign, which it includes you, or mutable signs as well, you will feel it the most. All right. You're also going to feel very restless this day. All right. Body, mind, everything stimulated in this good way. Am I right? In this good way. Why? Because you got Mercury conjuncting Uranus, okay? And when I say restless, where you're going to feel restless and yeah, it's like you're about to meet Harry Styles, okay? You're about to meet Mozart, okay? Who are some other Aquarians? I'm trying to think of other Aquarians here. Thomas Edison. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. Mercury conjunct Uranus in Taurus, 27 degrees. This is powerful. This is rare. It's once a year. This is a mic drop. This is breakthroughs. This is your ruler, Uranus, yeah, with Mercury. So it's very different from the Sun conjunct Uranus, that Uranus Cazimi. This is Mercury, all right? So what is this? It's huge breakthroughs in the mind, okay? But also home-related matters, relationships, money, finances, real estate, property matters, family energy, creative projects, like I said, and clarity. This is when you have light bulb moments. This is when you have epiphanies, especially about your future that come out of nowhere. Some of these are going to come out of the blue. It's Uranus. Uranus is like lightning, right? So it could also be like surprise messages or contracts or agreements. It's Mercury, right? Some that you never thought that you expected. It could be for y'all rentals or leases. For y'all, it could be, marriage certificates. This is big for you. And here's the thing. It will be you. This is when Uranus, your ruler, your modern ruler, who's all about freedom. That's what Aquarius energy is, right? Liberation. Uranus wants you to use him. And you will. He's your ruler. So shake things up. Shake things up. That's what he wants you to do. But also remember, it's Mercury. So look at things in a different perspective. I told you Saturn is traveling with Neptune. Neptune, the hanged man. All about that shift in mindset. All right? And surrendering a lot of things for the new. And there's going to be things happening in your physical world. It's just, that's just what it is. All right? Like signing things. But definitely think outside the box. Because you got these two planets together. It's creative energy. It's creative, it's inventive, it's original, it's rebellious, right? Aquarius energy, right? Pioneering, inspiring, all about your future. Maybe you're seeing your future in a different way. Maybe you're getting news about your future that's really amazing, life-changing. It's an awakening. Just expect change, especially with communication or messages, all right? Or learning something new or family. All right. One of the reasons why is because it is at 27 degrees. Remember, the last one was at 27. It's mutable. So you're going to be adapting here, right? The other thing is it's a Gemini degree. It's the Gemini degree in Gemini season. And Gemini is all about communication, right? And the mind and messages. So just have those radical, innovative, revolutionary breakthroughs that you need, because that's what Uranus is. And for a lot of y'all, it's going to be a change of mindset. And for a lot of y'all, it's going to be happening like right on the dot. Some of y'all, it's going to be gradual. Yeah. Every Aquarius is different. But again, at the end of the day, freedom, right? Free your mind. Yeah. Q in vogue. Free your mind and the rest will follow. So just do, say, or think something new. Have that breakthrough. Consider this just a new cycle to conjunct. That's how strong conjunctions are. All right. You're going to feel this throughout the week, even the week after. It is not a boring day because remember, look at everything happening at the same time. All of this. And again, right on the heels of that new moon in Gemini. All right. On Monday. And Mercury will trine Pluto in your sign next week. We'll save it for next week. This, again, you will never have this ever again in your lifetime because Uranus, like I said, is leaving Taurus in 2 months, right? Moving into Gemini. That's not happening for another 84 years. So definitely use this. And it's like a farewell, use this. Out with the old, in with the new. There's going to be something here with home, family, ancestry, roots, the foundations of your life, everything that I mentioned earlier, but also communication, everything with, I said, like with your fifth house, true love, romance. The other thing is, don't forget Saturn natively rules your 12th house and your first house. So you're going to have breakthroughs up here. And in terms of your role and your identity and that life force within you, this is big for you. Mercury is the lower octave of Uranus. All right. They're related. They rule the air signs all up here. Uranus rules Aquarius, right? I told you that. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo too. Okay. So it really is. And that, by the way, FYI, if you're an Aquarius, and this is really funny, I'm an Aquarius, I'm Gemini rising, and I'm Virgo moon. And so the Mercury and Uranus has a huge, anyway, if you're a fixed sign, you will feel this. And you are your Aquarius, but if you're, watching for your Aquarius rising, if you're Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, all the fixed signs are going to feel this most, and Virgo and Gemini. I am going to throw in Sagittarius and Pisces because all the mutables, right? They will feel this too. If you have planets 25 to 29 degrees in any of the fixed signs that I just mentioned in your birth chart, and again, it does not matter. You look at the angular aspects, you will really feel this conjunction, all right? And again, there may be something here really big with home, okay? Really big with home, relationships, money, family. We'll talk about in the second spread, all right? Where we talk about the lunations and the asteroids and planetoids. Now, May 25th, you got Mercury moving into Gemini. I told you, Mercury rules Gemini. This is big. Now you got a stellium here, the Sun, Jupiter, Mercury, all in Gemini. Communication, everything I mentioned earlier, it's just going to be amplified now. This is when you're really going to be communicating, okay? This is when you will likely be launching businesses or maybe, meeting new people. This is when you're going to be craving stimulation, circulating, especially if you're looking for love or doing something with your partner. Or there's this, remember, it's Gemini rules your fifth house. You got Jupiter expanding, all right? And remember, it's the mind too. Expanding your mind. Things are happening up here, all right? In terms of you realizing what brings you pleasure and joy or really seeking it, and creative projects a part of this. One last thing, and I will do a separate video on this. One of the reasons why we have 2025 is a year that nobody will ever experience. Remember, we haven't even made it to half the year yet. Just wait. Just wait. Remember, January to April, little and now everything's like boom, 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 boom. Sedna, all right? I'll do a separate video. Dwarf planet, just like Pluto. I mean, listen, Sedna is one of the reasons why we are going to have one of the biggest changes this year. It's because Sedna is right there with Pluto in your sign, leading the brigade. Sedna, huge. First time in Gemini at 0 degrees. Big. Remember, that's the creator degree, all right? And speaking of 0 degrees, now we get to Mercury sextile Saturn. This is when it's like, if you don't sign something, I would doubt, I would raise my eyebrow. I'm like, are you sure you're an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising? Because when you got Mercury sextiling Saturn in Aries, remember, Mercury new in Gemini, Saturn new in Aries, it's at 0 degrees. So, you will never have this again, okay? So take advantage. And that's at 0 degrees. You will have the aspect again, not until next year, all right? Remember, 0 degrees is creation. And it's that fresh new energy. You got Saturn here for the long term. And what I said about Mercury, yeah? So what's happening here? Something big growing and brewing in your life, all right? And something new. This is all about agreements and contracts and business deals and you launching a business. This is decision making, negotiating, communicating, marketing, PR, any of that. It's all for the long term. It's with Saturn. This is you writing a book, starting a website. Like I said, maybe redoing your resume. Maybe you're opening like an online shop. Okay. Maybe you're opening an actual, shop. Yeah. The banana store, whatever it is, right? The brick and mortar. You're becoming a teacher here. You're a role model. There's something here, something big. Because remember, Saturn, your ruler, your traditional ruler, is bringing you that promise of the long term and rewards you. But remember, you got to put in the work. Of course, you got to put in the work. But this is just bonkers. This is bonkers. Okay? Because a lot of y'all are getting married. A lot of y'all are meeting your soulmates. It's all fifth. It's with your fifth house. A lot of y'all are doing creative projects. A lot of y'all are having babies. A lot of y'all are, do you know what I mean? Like there's something really big and special for you here, Aquarius. I'm like about to cry. I can't even. Just think about like, what is your story to tell? Like, how do you want to contribute? What is your magnus opus? This is just big. All right. So please take advantage of this. And yes, everyone will feel this. Everyone will feel this. And it's at 0 degrees. But cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. The most, if you have any planets between 0 to 2 degrees in any of those signs in your birth chart, yes, you'll feel it. I'll even give it a little bigger of an orb. Yeah, 0 to 3 degrees. You'll feel it. All right. Let's just get, okay, this is, okay. Aquarius, I love y'all. We're a team. How much time we got? Okay, let's do it. Aquarius, y'all are amazing. Let's see what's going on for y'all. All right. Here we go. I'm very excited for you. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for May 19th to the 25th. All right, Aquarius, how are y'all doing? Team Aquarius, y'all crack me up. What are y'all up to? You see speaking of Saturn, you see my little clock there? I don't know why it was on sale. I do a traditional Celtic cross spread, offers the best overview, especially for a weekly reading. Especially for a week like this, it's going to be big. If we need to pull clarifiers, we will. Secondly, I love y'all. Aquarius, let's get started. Oh, wow. Oh, my fax machine. Okay. This is going to be, okay, when I say out with the old, in with the new, how you're going to be the most impacted with Saturn and Uranus being highly active. Listen, what we're moving into, what you see with Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto, that's going to be big. Okay, just those three alone. And the aspects they're going to have. And remember, Pluto's in your sign. Okay, and remember, Uranus will be in Gemini, your BFF air sign. And then Neptune, you can throw in Saturn, sure. Saturn, Neptune in Aries, right? Aries, what did I tell you? I think a month ago, you and Aries have so much in common, more than you would believe, okay? You're going to feel this. And it's not just that in Aries. Remember, you got Eris, Chiron. You have a Ceres just moved there. Look what's happening here. Okay, you're good. This is a transition. You are definitely, I am going to give you one of those, okay? You got the Eight of Swords. There you go. Your recent past. Look, all I'm going to say, her feet are free. She can walk out anytime she wants. Face her truths, her realities, right? Then we call this the self-victim card. And this card, believe it or not, is attributed to, it's a Gemini card, but it's attributed to Jupiter and Gemini. Now, just briefly, because I don't want to take up too much time here, Jupiter, is in Gemini right now, which is amazing, and it expands. But Jupiter is considered detriment in Gemini. Now, why is that? Because it can be too much information. It can be over analyzing. It could be all about the mind, not bringing in the heart or anything else. Okay? So this is a great time for you. Anything, because remember, we call this a self-victim card. Anything that you are telling yourself up here, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or this, or or like nothing happens for me. Any of those low frequency energies, I'd say, when I say everything is made of energy, your thoughts, the words that come out of your mouth, the things that you write down, you're putting energy out there. That's why you want that high frequency. So this is just saying, let's work on that, okay? To the point you are comfortable taking off that blindfold so you can face your fears, anything that you feel is blocking you. So, and for a lot of y'all, yeah, it may not be something here that is self-imposed. It just may be something circumstantial, but you still have to work with it, okay? If you don't, you have the Five of Pentacles on the heart of your spread. Now, for a lot of Aquarians, what did I say? You're really going to feel Saturn moving into Aries. It is your ruler, and you're going to feel a lot of this. And Saturn's leaving Pisces, right? Money, finances, salary, all of that into Aries. This is going to be big. I said you're going to feel it. And this, and you got a lot of energy with home that I told you about, with Taurus ruling your fourth house. So, and you have partnership stuff too. You got so much happening. You got so much happening. Yeah. Okay. So basically what this is saying, these two people kind of like this, they're focusing on their plight. So another like self-victim, like this happened in my world and now I'm just going to sit in bed and, watch, Love is Blind, all the seasons for every country with 30 buckets of ice cream and not do anything to get out of it, right? Because they're literally outside of church. They refuse to see it because they kind of feel good and like feeling bad for themselves, right? But here's the thing, and I'm not saying it to you, I'm saying that's the card, yeah? This card, believe it or not, and this is why it's just so crazy how the tarot aligns with astrology. This card, not only a Taurus card, it's attributed to Mercury in Taurus. Another card where it's considered, where it's considered detriment. Mercury doesn't do well in Taurus. It does better in Gemini. Mercury is moving into Gemini, right? So when you look at the progression of what's happening here, everything just gets so much better for you this week, especially if you feel that there's been some things that have been hard for you. Okay? Pentacles are your physical world. Okay? And remember, money. Pentacles. But it's a 5-pointed star. I've told you this, okay? We go all the way back to, Mesopotamia times with a 5-pointed star here. It's linked to the vault of heaven, like the golden ratio, right? I've told you this. The 5 elements. Yeah, 5. I said 5 because there's air, earth, water, fire, and the ether. Yeah? That's how it's always been. And then you get some, billionaires that take over the periodic table, take ether out of the periodic table and say it don't exist. And then like 100 years later, they're like, oh, we discovered dark energy, dark matter. That's like 80% of the world. We don't know what it is. The ancients for thousands of years said, there's something called ether. Anyway, you just got to believe in yourself. That's all it is. And the thing is, this is something happening in your physical world. It may be money. It may be finances. It may be something that is affecting you spiritually. They're outside of church. They don't want to go in. You got all the support around you. And so recognize what it is. Because look, you got 2 archangels and where they are in your spread, you already know what you got to do. You've got to let something go here. What are you holding on to? The other thing is, that there's something holding you back, someone holding you back. You know it. And again, there may be something here with home and family and love. Everything I mentioned earlier. Money as well. But you're going to be fine. You got the 9 of Cups. In your challenge area, I don't mind it. There's something here where it's like, again, when you see what's happening here, I'm not getting what I want. This is not happening. Nothing is happening for me. What is that? That's energy. That's you putting that energy on the universe, where the universe is like, oh wait, what? They don't want anything? Okay, we won't. Right? Remember what I've been telling you for so long. Saturn being very important right now. Saturn being karma. Karma literally translates to action in Sanskrit. That's why we say actions have consequences. Everything is karma. You're on a karmic journey. And so there's something here where, again, it's all you've got to do. A, believe in yourself. B, practice that patience. Remember, that is key. This is just a weekly reading. It's a good time, right? 3, and you're coming after that full moon in Scorpio that was in your 10th house. And then you also have the South Node in Virgo, your 8th. Yeah, so there's changes happening anyway. And then all the Kazemi you had in your 4th house. So you're going through changes. And so C, D, it's just saying, what is it here that I can do to get past this? It's happened. Remember, we're moving into the future, thinking about our future. What can I do to get past this? Right? This. You already know. That's the thing. That's the thing. And that's what can happen with Mercury. It can be so strong. It makes you think, right? It's all about shifting your perspective. And you're going to see that happening this week. Okay. A lot of this is shifting your perspective because it is swords up here. It is pentacles in your physical world. All they got to do is look up. That's all they have to do. What comes after that? The 6 of Pentacles, all that support, all that money. That's all you've got to do. Reach out. This is saying, look, I'm not getting what I want. My arms across. Like a child, like, no, you've got, and this is saying, hey, that you got to believe in yourself and you got to know everything is going to happen for you. So that's what I'm saying from the beginning, right? I've said that from the beginning. The second thing is, yeah, it does seem like there is someone in your way. You've got to remember, I say, kick open that door. If someone's closing a door, you got to kick it open. I mean, nicely, kick it gently. Don't hurt. Like, yeah. Okay. That you're going to feel this power. You're going to feel this power in a really big way. And it may have to do with money. I'm just seeing money stuff here. It's like maybe you're not getting a raise or maybe something happened. Maybe your company cut. There was like lots, you maybe something with your job. But again, look at this. You got Archangel Gabriel. You got Archangel Michael. You have 2 archangels in your main spread. Aquarius, when was the last time you've seen this happen in your main spread? Never. You've got it in your crown. This is judgment. Judgment is attributed to the planet Pluto. Pluto is in your sign. This is having that spiritual awakening. What is happening here? You see the archangel blowing the trumpet? What is that? It is sound. I've talked about sound. What is sound? It's frequency. It's vibration. That is what sound can do. That's what energy can do. That's what vibration can do. That's why I always say vibrate at the high frequency. Okay? You hear that blow of the trumpet. You have that spiritual awakening. Look at what happens. It's so strong, it wakes the dead. All right? So it's in your crown. You want something different. This is a week you are going to have this huge moment of clarity. You got Mercury conjunct Uranus. You are going to feel that. You have Pluto in your sign. You got Pluto in all these aspects. And yes, we will talk about the lunations. You still got Juno trining the North Node. I hope you know that. That's playing a big part here. And yes, eventually, maybe I will bring in Pallas or Vesta or, you got asteroids in your anyway, planetoids. You got Archangel Michael. You know about Archangel Michael. Listen, this is saying everything's going to work out. What did I talk about? Your path. This is saying, hey, I've got you. I've got you. Everyone's on a path. You see literally a path here to a sun with a crown on it. A sun shaped as a crown. You're going to get there. He's going to help you get there. But he's just telling you, practice that patience. That's temperance. This is moderation, not doing things to, like extremes. But in the end, it's you taking, look, foot in the water, foot in the land, right? What does that remind you of? Your card, the star, the water bearer, foot in the water, foot in the land. So this is taking what's, possible and merging it with what's real. All right? So use this. This is just intuitive work. This is again, this is in the root of your spread. Again, there's something, there's something inside you where you already know you're fine. You already know you're good. And this is saying just, hey, enjoy life. I've got you. Why? If you're stressing or worrying or doubting, ask yourself, when was the last time stressing, worrying, doubting, self-doubt did anything good for you? When did it move the needle for you? That's low energy frequency. That makes things take longer. You get stuck. Okay? You have that high frequency. Whoosh. Remember, it wakes the dead. And gray in tarot is wisdom, right? So it becoming wiser. Anyway, temperance is Sagittarius, okay? Sagittarius rules your 11th house of your future hopes, your wishes, your long-term goals, dreams. You know you're the native ruler of the 11th house. That's why you have this vibe with Sagittarius. But anyway, you're going to be fine. This is saying everything that I said earlier about visualizing, where you want to be a year from now, 10 years, all that. This is saying, yeah, you're on a path. You're going to get there. And if you are feeling worry or doubt or, this happened and whatever, I can't face some things. If any of that, why don't you think about what I said? This is saying, think about the end game. Think about your finish line and think about how good that will feel when you get there. Not if, when, right? Because you will. You got the Fool in your future. I can't even, what makes this really crazy? Look at the progression, but also the Fool attributed to Uranus. Therefore, there's a lot of Aquarius energy in the Fool. And what is Aquarius? Don't forget who you are. Don't forget who you are. You're unique. You're the geniuses. You're innovative. That's Aquarius. You're rebellious. You make great friends. You're social too. You keep some people at arm's length. You let, I can tell you everything about you, but let me tell you about the Fool. You're on that new journey. What did I say? Saturn being the world card, right? The end, and now the new. 0. What did I say about everything that's happening this week? Look at all the aspects of that 0 degree point. 0. New creation. The Fool standing on the edge of a cliff, not even looking down. That's faith. That's trusting in the universe. That's confidence. It's also risk taking. Take those risks and have that confidence. There's so much innocence here. There's so much optimism here. You got the full blast of the sun. Optimism, opportunities. Okay? 2 things here. Okay? 2 really big things. 1, the sun. Outside of this actual sun card, the sun only appears in a few cards. Look at the blast of that. This is the biggest, yeah. And secondly, remember what I said about there's leaving old systems, patterns, ways of thinking as well. Okay? Everything is fresh and new. He's so young. There's loyalty. You see there's everything here. Everything here. I want to show you the satchel. This is 0. What comes before 0? Absolutely nothing, right? And he's embarking on his journey, new journey, right? Major Arcana, you're on this brand new journey. It's happening for you. I told you, you're going to feel this. Only bringing the essentials. Only bringing the essentials, right? So out with the old, in with the new. Let's get to your stuff. Aquarius. Oh my gosh. Aquarius, if you like this reading, would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. This is for me as much as it is for you. There's some changes happening in my life. I don't tell you everything. In my live streams, I do. Anyway, I love y'all. Yeah. Oh my. Okay. You're gonna get another one of these. You're gonna get a mic drop. Maybe I'm gonna give you. Yeah. I don't know. You get a little bit of Aaron Paul here. You get the little owl. You're good. You're good. AF. Look at what's happening here. Okay. So again. Oh, look at this progression. Look at this progression. And one thing that I've pointed out, if you are a cross watcher, this is the week. You've seen it. And you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Okay? You're good. You got the Chariot. There you go. That's all about believing in yourself. That's all about that willpower. That's what I talk about. When you get the sun trining Pluto in your sign, when I tell you to kick down doors, That's confidence. Not going back, just moving forward. Boom, boom, boom. A lot of this, your life is changing. You're in everyday activities, a huge shift. You're moving into it, okay? And you're not looking back, okay? You got to cut the cord on whatever is here. Or if something happens, because, Uranus Kazemi, Mercury conjunct Uranus, sometimes that's, circumstantial. Whatever happens here, it happened for a reason. It happened for a reason for this new. Yeah? Change is the only constant in the world. Chariot, remember I talked about the two opportunities. You even see it here. There's maybe two paths. It doesn't even matter what paths you take. You're in control. That's all it's saying. You see the stars in his canopy. He's following his hopes and wishes and dreams. What'd I say? The star is your card. I'm going to show you one last thing. Look at look at the chariot. Look at what he's sitting in cement. He's not going back. No. And then what did I say about that Aries energy? You got the Emperor who's Aries. You see the rams in his throne. What did I say about you becoming this leader and the role model and you being that? This is a force to be reckoned with. He's got the world in his hand, crown. He's a leader, but he's the emperor. What did I say about mastery of self? That's what this is. Masculine energy, to really strong masculine energy. So it doesn't even matter. It can be like you being the mother, like whatever it is, mother, business owner, entrepreneur, whatever it is. This is you controlling your destiny. Okay. And there is this, paternal energy too. Saturn, by the way, is like the father figure. So is like the emperor. There's someone on your side opening doors for you who has a lot of power. Okay. It can be a parent. It can be a grandparent, but someone with a lot of power. This is power. This is power. He knows. And look at. I mean, first of all that like that passion, that power. But look at the armor. He's protected. You got nothing to worry. He's protected. You got this protection everywhere, and you know it. And so keep that in mind. You got a lot of power here. You got the Ace of Wands. Yeah. What did I say about new beginning? Now, and wands, a lot of y'all getting new jobs, starting new jobs, career, that's wands. But at the end of the day, wands is just that spirited, like invigorating. It's this liveliness. It's creativity. It's your ambitions. Even if you're not here for a career, it's your ambitions. What do you want? Universe is going to give. But you got to get out of that energy, and you have to have that belief that the universe, this is a hand of spirit. I said, look at the leaves sprouting from the wand. I said, there's going to be something new brewing for you, growing for you. Do you want that? Yes, you do. You're going to go get it. And then last, you got death and your final outcome. You're good. You're one of two signs, okay, that has gotten death in the final outcome, or even just in the spread. And I always say the death, it doesn't come out as much as it should. And this, remember, is transformation. This is setting you up for this new shelf life. Why? I'm going to show you two things here. Remember, this is out with the old, in with the new. That's all this is, okay? And you've got to not resist it. It doesn't seem like y'all are going to do it. Once you let this go, you're going to be fine. You're going to see everything start changing for you in this huge way. But look at him. Look at him. He's wearing armor. He's protected, right? It's a skeleton, okay? Why is it a skeleton? Think about it. What in our body endures the longest? The bones, right? So you're setting yourself up for this new beginning, this new shelf life that's long. When I talk about Saturn, longevity, okay? Saturn is bones, by the way. We'll talk about in the second spread, health-wise. What I talk about the sun. Outside the sun card, it only comes out in a couple cards. What do you see here? Look at the direction you're moving. There's opportunities. There's everything. Your life is changing in the biggest way possible. And this is going to turn out to be, oh my gosh. The last thing I'm going to show you is that look at that. The majority of your spread, it's all major arcana. It's all, when I say this is going to be a significant week, out with the old, in with the new. But spiritual, you got the two, I mean, you only got 3 pip cards. Come on. This is going to be a big week. It's going to be a big week. Oh, yeah, like that one court card is an 8. Like, it's huge. Aquarius, well, yeah, the second spread. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. We're gonna talk about the three. There we have a triple conjunction in Aries on top of everything that's happening in Aries for you as you move into this Aries area of your life. We'll talk about the Moon conjunct Venus. Again, that's big for you, and then the triple conjunction with your North Node. That one last gasp that's happening at 29 degrees. All right, there's something here. We'll talk about tier 3 members. You know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. You know I love this. You know I love doing this for you too. Yeah, we're Team Aquarius. And next week, you know what's happening next week. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Aquarius, y'all are amazing. I will see you next week. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.